Hey everyone, it's the Sith Justice Warriors podcast coming to you today on the typical Sunday evening for those in the US, and with me is Princess Lumpia.
Hey everyone.
Hey,
Hopefully
so
everyone.
we've got some Hollywood entertainment news, given that it's very limited, so Lumpia, take us away.
Yeah, hopefully everyone had a great weekend. You know, it brings me joy whenever I see something related to Keanu in these times, this day and age where we can't go to a movie theater and watch a movie without, fearing for our lives. I found out that John Wick 5 is confirmed and is going to be shot back to back with John Wick 4. So Keanu is going to be a very busy man, after filming Matrix 4 and all his other, I'm sure he has other projects to film. But it's very exciting because what it means to me is that, John Wick 4, he's probably still going to be alive. So, we kind of left, if you haven't seen John Wick 3, spoiler alert, we kind of leave on a cliffhanger because he kind of breaks his ties with, I guess, that group of hired assassins. I forget their name. But and he basically was on the run for his life. You thought he died, but he didn't. So the fact that there's a John Wick 5 means that in John Wick 4 he's probably still going to be alive, so that we could have a John Wick 5.
Well, technically he is alive, though. I mean, they confirmed. Remember, he had that whole the conversation with
No, he did, but what I'm saying is that
he survives 4.
yes, I'm
sorry.
saying that with 4, like, I don't really know the plot details. I just know it's probably going to pick up from where 3 left off. And, I don't know I didn't know at the time how they were going to end 4. If they were making this a quadrilogy or whatever the word is for 4 movies, and that was the last movie. But the fact that there's 5 means that it isn't the last movie. They don't have to kill him necessarily. Because what kind of ending would John Wick have anyway in your mind? But anyway, I digress. So that was the big news for me this week, entertainment-wise. The other piece is just rumors and different things from the Marvel universe. So I will bring it up because it's of an interesting topic. But before I go there, Fan, the other piece of rumor is that supposedly they have casted Alison Brie as She-Hulk. It's not been confirmed officially, but there have been rumors swirling around her as they started production and getting ready for She-Hulk. And then this more recently, a couple of days ago, came out in my news feed. So we'll see. With a lot of things just picking up again in terms of filming and the delays and everything, we'll see. This will probably be a 2024 thing. But on the same vein of women in Marvel, our your favorite, Jade Fan, Captain Marvel. 2 pieces of news. Number 1, they landed a director. I think her name is Nia DaCosta. She's known for Little Woods, which is like a thriller sort of movie that was critically acclaimed back in 2018. And another movie more recently, The Candyman, which I didn't realize it was still relevant, but apparently it is. But I think it was backed by Jordan Peele and his quest for horror dominance. So that's going to be interesting. She's actually one of the first female African Americans to direct a Marvel film, so that's great news in terms of diversity. The other piece of news related to Captain Marvel is Brie Larson. I feel like she's been in the media a lot this week, primarily because she has a YouTube channel where she is showing off, like, I guess, her workout skills as she preps for Captain Marvel 2. But the other piece of news that I thought would be interesting, specifically to you, Fan, was an article on epicstream.com where basically there is a rumor that Marvel, this is the headline, Marvel has reportedly committed to all of Brie Larson's demands from the MCU. I'm going to quote the article, a couple bits and pieces. So, positioned as one of the faces that will lead Marvel into phase 4 and 5, Larson has been considered as one of the most important additions to the Marvel franchise. Though it took Marvel quite a while to announce the sequel to Captain Marvel, there were rumors circulating online that Larson had been demanding for equal pay in retrospect to her male co-stars, top billing in Marvel crossover projects. And now we've heard that Marvel, at least according to their source, has caved in. She basically it's not going to be as big as a deal as supposedly as Robert Downey Jr., but she basically wants that type of billing. She wants that type of like Tony Stark, Iron Man. She wants this for Captain Marvel, apparently. If I'm reading into this rumor correctly. So I wanted to get your thoughts around this just because it's our favorite Avenger to talk about.
So I was reading that article you forwarded me from Epic Streams website, and it says not only does this new deal give Larson higher pay, it also ensures that her name appears first in trailers and first in posters for upcoming movies for Avengers. First.
Oh yeah.
First.
First.
I mean, it's a rumor. So
it's a rumor. It's a rumor, but I have something to point out. It did take them a while to make the announcement of a sequel when we all knew they kind of alluded to a sequel, but I bet you it has something to do with the fact that she was holding out.
Wait, Captain Marvel 2?
Yeah.
Well, they just passed over and said, yes, there's a sequel, and we'll talk more about it. They didn't, you know how they had that big announcement of that Blade, Thor.
Oh yeah, like the phase, whatever.
They're like, oh yeah, and we're gonna have a Black Panther, and
but they didn't really like announce. Like it wasn't official, in my opinion, other than like here, and they weren't even at Comic-Con online. So I feel like
Here's my thing. I mean, I am for equal pay, so I don't think that's an issue. I think that if we talk about who's produced in the past to deserve equal pay, I'm shocked that if Scarlett Johansson, for her contributions for the Avengers and Civil War and her contributions with Winter Soldier, if her pay is less than Brie Larson's, I think that's very disappointing. That's where I'll have to say, Marvel, that's disappointing. Because without Scarlett Johansson, who actually has very good acting chops, and people hated it, but I actually thought that if you were to imagine the Major to be Caucasian, which I didn't care, right? I envisioned it would have been Scarlett Johansson, and she did what I think she did an okay job. I just think that the problem with that specific movie was you were never going to live up to the Major Kusanagi, right?
Mm-hmm.
I digress, but the whole point was I don't. I guess what Brie Larson's movie made $1 billion or $1 million. Did it make $1 billion?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
They did it because, let's be real, they did it because they made you think you needed to see the movie to watch Avengers Endgame.
Yep, but you didn't need to.
And look, what did they do in Endgame? She was like a hologram. She was a hologram for 2/3 of the movie.
I know. And they made it sound like in the trailers and made it sound like she was such an integral part of, like basically eliminating Thanos.
She didn't do anything. She just ran into a spaceship. And
I know.
Then she took Peter Millennial Parker, took the glove away from Peter Millennial Parker.
I know. It was such a big
moment. It was a very big letdown. And the other thing too is that I actually heard that she was instrumental in the what was the lady's name who was the Candyman director?
Oh, Nia DaCosta?
Yeah, she was instrumental because she actually wanted to, I think, direct Captain Marvel 2. I heard that rumor,
Oh, really?
but
I
then
didn't
I think she
know
decided to push for the diversity angle, which is, I mean, I never watched Candyman, so I can't tell you if it was good.
that.
But the question is, there was a lot of publicity about Candyman, but I only heard it because it was Jordan Peele associated. So I don't know if she's good or not. And Marvel tends to be pretty good at finding actors, actresses that are up and coming. So
Hmm.
I don't know about the directorial side, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
That being said, does it surprise me that Brie Larson is stomping her feet and getting Disney to cave in? No, I don't think it's surprising. Like if the rumor was true, it wouldn't surprise me. Um, and it wouldn't surprise me that she believes she's better than Robert Downey Jr. And
Which is
you know,
crazy because she was not at the inception of this whole entire thing. But anyway, go ahead.
no, I agree. And she didn't build it. It's kind of a emblematic of what you saw with the comic book industry, where we're subverting um, core pieces of characters that were established because they came in later, and now they it's like they can't tend to build something from the ground up that's successful. I feel like it's you have to take something that's successful through history and then subvert it to a different direction, and then it's going to go unfortunately sideways. I hope that's not the case because, for example, I really want Blade to do well. Um, Thor: Love and Thunder, I have a bad feeling about, but at least Chris Hemsworth is going to do as awesome of a job as he can. But that being said, you know what, Kevin Feige, I think he has his love affair with Brie Larson. I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying that he is very infatuated with Brie Larson's abilities that I
Mhm.
have no idea what they are. And you know what? I think that it's time for them to put up or shut up. If they're I think in the last podcast we talked about how this is the time where you either are putting it all in and double downing, realizing that if you fail, you will you will lose big. The movie theaters are shut, Disney parks are shut or limited extremely.
Yeah.
Uh, you can't mess around with your money because there are shareholders out there that are not going to be happy. So does Kevin Feige want to just kind of go with a tried and true path, or does he want to make a swing for a home run that I'm not sure the people are there for this?
Or is he on his way out and not out of like Disney per se, but out of like transitioning on somewhere else and doesn't care?
Well, that's the question because we can flip it to Star Wars. We know Kathleen Kennedy is looking for the next job.
Yep.
The question is it going to be Favreau with a stronger hand by George Lucas? Is it Kevin Feige? That's the question. Because if this is Kevin Feige's way of saying, look, I'm going to be taking over Star Wars. So what's her name? Sana Amanat. Yeah, Sana Amanat. You got your agenda. Let's do it. But then I'm gonna walk out just before it all crumbles, and it's not my
Mhm.
fault.
Yeah.
But I think Kevin Feige believes in this stuff, which is fine. But just be aware that we didn't talk about Mulan, but I mean, are we gonna pay $30 to watch it immediately? I mean, I think
Oh, it's going to be on Disney Plus. Just you watch.
well,
Just
no, it's I mean, I guess the question is it gonna come part of the package, or are we gonna have to pay this premium? Because
ah.
I guess we didn't talk about it. The rumor that Black Widow is going to be like because of this $30 Mulan thing, it basically confirms that there's a premium package where you can watch Black Widow on Disney Plus the day it's supposed to come out.
And you're right. We did not talk about that because you're right. They did announce this week a premium tier.
Yeah, that's it. That wasn't a rumor. It was announced. So
Yeah.
I think while I'm kind of pontificating in the background, we can probably get a little info on that because we probably need to watch the Mulan thing. I I mean that's the question. It's $30, right? So I think if you're gonna have a family of four, it's it's $10 a ticket. That's cheaper. But if it's if you're normally one person, I mean $30 is for three tickets, not including your concessions, which it could go either way, right?
Yeah.
And I just don't know if you're gonna say Brie Larson is the core crux of this character, which we know that they've done it in the comic books, and we know it's doing so fantastic. Um, God bless you, God bless you, MCU. You're gonna swing, and I hope to God you at least get a double because you're gonna need it because you're gonna need as much cash. The I'm not getting this vibe that anyone's excited as to the level it was all the way up to Endgame. I'm not seeing it. I mean, are you seeing it? I just don't see it.
I'm not, and it's two pieces. It's one of it is I agree with you. Endgame for a lot of people was the end game because at that point there were a lot of things going on in the sense of like were we too inundated in superhero movies? Have they lost their luster? That kind of thing. The other piece of it was this transition from big screen to like now you're going to see a TV show with the same characters that you saw on the big screen. So like there's a shift, right, with Endgame. Not only was it the end of a 10-year, a big 10-year plan, but it was also the end of like Robert Downey Jr.'s character. It truly was an end game. Like it really was the end and the beginning of something else. The fact that coronavirus came and is still here, like the after effects are still here, we're still feeling it. It's kind of stifled the industry. Work has started now again on the projects that were all pushed back almost a year. A lot of these projects have been pushed back a year out. So the environment is so different. We still can't go to a movie theater and watch a movie in a theater, eating food, blah, blah, blah. Can't do it. I walked by, a movie theater near, my parents' house, and it was just like, it made me think of one of those like, abandoned towns in the westerns that you just dark and the the town that time forgot, the movie theater that time forgot. Like it's sad. But then again, like, are people willing to? I don't know. So there's a shift in the story as well as a shift in the world that I don't think they were planning on making it happen. Planning on happening, and those are the two things that we really. I don't think that the industry was ready to deal with. I think their plans for the question of okay, Endgame, what's next, was Disney Plus, leveraging that to continue the stories. That also got stifled because, like I said, they can't film. Like they could not film without adhering to the guidelines of social distancing. So again, it's one of those things where it's like I don't think a lot of this stuff was supposed to happen. This is their way of adapting. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but $29.99 for one person to watch Mulan is asking for a lot. I don't know how they came up with the pricing on that, but I agree with you. A typical family of four is going to spend more than $30 because tickets these days are upwards from $11 and up, especially if you want to watch it like in certain conditions and certain theaters. Then you add in the concessions. So I think that when you layer that all into effect, yes, the pricing's fair for an average family of 4. But in another extreme, how much was Trolls to rent?
I don't think I think what 15.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
like
So
I don't think it was 30.
exactly my point. Like, so you've got these subscribers that pay $6.99 a month. Some of them more, like some of them like me who got suckered into the 2-year deal. Like, and then you want me to pay more? Like that, it just I can't justify that when Amazon Prime is a service you pay for too. And on top of that, the $15, it felt fairer than $29.99. Better blow my mind is all I'm saying, Mulan.
Is
I
that up?
will I
Is
will
that
do that
actually
for
up?
Black Widow though, because I'm a fan.
Is that
But
actually up, Mulan?
it's September 4th.
I think we do have to do a review, don't we?
Yeah, we are gonna. It's probably gonna be our first review, but
Yeah. Well, no,
$49.99.
we get the
Let's get
Star
a
Wars review.
we'll get a party of under 10 people because of COVID. But
Well, it's probably family friendly, so I probably could have the baby watch it for a little bit.
exactly,
Or it's
exactly.
gonna be so boring though without
And I know Mushu made the movie. I mean, come on, Eddie Murphy. Like this one's gonna be like a typical like, Jet Li, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
totally
like
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Tall Young Fat, like kind of movie, House
Uh,
of Flying Daggers kind of thing.
yeah, I mean it's. Ugh. I, I don't know what to say other than it's gonna be a soul. It's going to be soulless, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna I'm gonna have to tamper my expectations down because maybe me being so negative is not a good thing. But back to Brie though, if they really believe that the metrics on Brie Larson, like I hope they're not taking Twitter. A lot of people these days are believing Twitter is 100% of the population. I believe it's only less than 20, which I believe is actually more closer to 10% of the population. I hope Disney invests money into confirming the voices of opinions are aligned with what's on Twitter. That's the
Yeah.
best way to put it.
Yeah.
They have a lot of money. You use it to do surveys, reactions. I don't care. Like, you got to stop believing that out there, everybody listens to people on Twitter.
Yep.
I mean, everybody, there's a very, very quiet bunch of people that are on Twitter that just reads people's posts, don't vocalize, and they just, have their own opinion. And I think I'm going to stop there. I just think that we hope Kevin Feige leaves on a good note, but maybe he just doesn't care. I don't know. Maybe he really likes Brie Larson in ways that I can't describe. I mean, I'm
We don't
actually.
know her. And you know what? We don't know her. So, but what I've seen of her in a few things.
Oh my god! I'm going to her. I'm at her. I'm on her YouTube right now.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy!
My first workout in quarantine. She looks so depressed. I climbed the Grand Teton and kept it a secret. Wow. She had 124,000 views for that. A very important conversation with Justina Omokuha, 143,000. The quarantine workout was 749,000 views.
What?
And then of that, wow, it was 51,000 likes, 11,000 dislikes. But she has 11,400 comments. Wow, she must have had a lot of bots give her the like. Because the last time I saw someone do a reaction video to Brie Larson stuff, it was like 1,500 likes to 11,000 dislikes. I feel like she bought bots.
Oh
I can't
boy!
confirm that.
Oh boy!
Oh man, I'm on a tangent, but oh my goodness, this is interesting. Does she really need YouTube? She makes money, doesn't she? Oh, because Hollywood's closed. Oh man.
Well, like I said, I no offense to Brie Larson, but she only played a bit role, honestly, in Avengers Endgame. And I would just call it a cameo. And, I think that to call her the face of the next phase is a bit misleading. I would have preferred them to say Tom Holland was the face of the next phase.
If you wanted to make a lot of money, you would say Spider-Man is the face of your phase. Yes.
I mean,
Hell, you could have done
honestly,
Miles
yeah.
Morales. You could have even had Miles Morales be the
I
face.
know. Like, there was just, I mean, because you already killed Black Widow. So, because that could have been a decent next, phase, sort of, I'm like, Jesus. Like,
But she's not even a leader. Like, is she a leader? Like, I don't. I never
she's
took.
not a team player. That's what I'm like. I'm kind of like, I never got a sense that she was a team player in the Avenger films. Like, so I don't know. I mean, like I said, I would have rather they told me that, the face of the next phase is gonna be Spider-Man. It's just, yeah.
You think?
It
I
just made so much sense. Like,
Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man's huge, and I think he's not my favorite character. But I have to say that it's impossible to say that he's less than. Well, that's what they tried really hard to do in the comic books, but time has his Spider-Man has time and time and again proven that it is the face of Marvel.
yeah,
Like that's the Spider-Man's face is actually what you should always put in that little corner of every Marvel comic book. Not
yeah.
Captain Marvel, but you know what? I want to see Disney take this swing. I hope they don't miss because it's going to be very financially painful. Because guess what? Star Wars on the other side of the block, they don't even know what to do. Well, it's so bad that there's rumors that they're basically going to just scrap the entire sequel trilogy and retcon it.
Yes, I
And
heard that myself as well.
to
And
me, it's such a waste of time and money, but not just like on their side, but on our side. We literally sat there and watched it. What, nine
how many?
hours
Yeah,
worth?
9 hours. Oh my
10?
god! Plus the previews.
Oh man. Uh, anyway, um,
Anyway, happy Sunday to everyone.
happy Sunday. So I think we'll wrap it up there. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications on our channel of any new content we plan to put up. Also, we will be shortly after this show post the podcast version, the audio only. So that should pop up in popular podcasts like Spotify or Google Podcasts. And we hope to hear from you all soon. Remember, our Twitter handle is at Just the Sith. So till the next time, see you on the Sith side.